Hi everyone, Nicholas Bafidis here from sunny Cyprus, although it's really quite cold out there today. And today's tutorial is all about my multiple choice mark sheet for students so that they can self-assess their work. Now essentially the objective would be we could give the students the question paper in traditional form, on paper or even electronic form, and students will answer the multiple choice questions, but instead of answering them on paper or on some kind of electronic form, they're going to use Minecraft. Now the beautiful thing about this is that the students, they will answer the questions, but they will only be able to escape or leave the room if they answer all the questions correctly. So let's get started. So this is what the room looks like. Each color here represents a different question. So the white section is for question number 1, blue question number 2, so on and so forth. So here we've got, I think, around about 15, 20 questions. Okay. Now, you can actually stop this at any point. So I've put this wall here so that it's only 10 questions from that point to this point. Now, the idea is that they go to question number 1, and depending on which answer they think is correct, so in this case, they think the answer is A from the multiple choice sheet that they would get, and they will switch A to on. Over here, I've actually got these in the correct positions. The answer is C and D. So let's say they were answering this question here, the pink one. You can see the door is locked. Now, only if they answer all the questions correctly will the door open. So if they answer, let's say, for example, B and D, that's not going to work. The door's still closed. So they have to actually answer the correct ones. Now, the advantage of this is what? You see, now all of these are correct, so the door opens. Students, if the door doesn't open, they need to go back and review all of the questions again. They need to go and double check their work and make sure they've answered everything correctly. And it gets them to really challenge themselves to review what they know is correct or what they think is correct, and they go back and review that. Well, that's one of the biggest challenges in education, getting students to look at their work again before they submit it. So this does everything for you. And it's a fantastic little exercise. Students really like this, and just the concept that they're trapped in the room and they're in the environment of Minecraft, they just love answering questions. And you can have all sorts of questions. Remember, the questions you give them on paper, they can be research questions, they can be absolutely anything you like, maths, art, physics, ICT, anything you like. It can be a combination. So I'm going to show you how you can create this. It's actually quite easy, and it's simply creating one block. Now it looks a little bit complicated, but it also includes over here in this world, and I'm going to have both these worlds, the previous world with the 25 breakout rooms and this room, as links in the description of the tutorial. So over here, I'm going to show you how we can build one up. I've actually created 2 repeater blocks here which trap the students in the world. Okay, so I've got this disabled now. I've done this with redstone actually in this particular one, so I'm not going to enable it. I'm just going to leave that there so I can stay in creative mode. So let's create one of the questions so you understand how the system works. So I've got a wall here with some bedrock. I've put some signs at the top which represents the choices that they've got, A, B, C, D and E. I've used in the middle row here a color so they can actually distinguish question 1, question 2, question 3, and I put a lever on each block. So they've got 5 choices, or 5 multiple choice answers here, and the answer could be either one of these being correct, or it has to be 2 of them correct, or 3 or 4 or 5. So that's the first part, and I've simply put 2 redstone glow lamps here to simulate the door, just for argument's sake, just to leave it as a door there. Okay, so how does this work? Whenever you turn one of these levers on, any one of these levers, it's going to send energy to the block which is connected to at the back. Okay, so let's turn that off. So the first thing that we need to do is to make sure energy only comes out when all of the levers are in the correct position. So at the back, you need to put, and this is why I haven't completed this, so I can show you, 2 blocks. Doesn't matter what the blocks are. Again, I prefer white because redstone dust shows better on it. And on top of these blocks, you're going to put redstone dust on all of them. So it's going to end up looking like this. Now, because all of these here are connected, any one of these switches turning on, doesn't matter which one it is, that redstone is going to light up because it's energized, that redstone dust. Doesn't matter which one of these or how many of these you turn on, that's going to be on. And that's what we don't want, because if I now put redstone dust going to from here to my glowstone lamps, there we go, and I turn any one of these switches on, that lights up. So the door will open, and that's not what we want. So how do we fix this? Well, first off, I'm going to go to the back, and what I want to do is to the ones which are correct, let's say the answer is going to be A and E. I'm going to break the redstone dust off behind A and behind E. Okay, so that's E and A is over there. And whichever ones are correct, I'm going to put a redstone torch there instead, like that. Okay, now again, redstone torch is going to have that on all the time. Okay, so what we want now is this. Because the redstone torch, this one here is off, the redstone torch is on. Remember, the redstone torch is an inverter. If I turn that on and turn that on, now still, because one of the redstone torches is still on, you see the other one's off, I've still got energy here. But if I turn this one off, or sorry, on, the other redstone torch turns off as well. So now we only get an output. We only get everything switched off. In other words, there's no energy when the correct combination is in. So when A is down and E is down, that means there's energy behind these redstone torches turning them off. So no energy here. And all the other ones are in the off position. Now that doesn't help me, because I want the door to open or the lamps to switch on when these are all in the correct position. So all I have to do now is invert this signal. So instead of everything being off when it's in the correct position, we want everything on when it's in the correct position. So I'm going to break that not the dust. Let's just put that back and put the redstone there again. The dust. I want to break that redstone dust there and there, and I want to put a redstone torch here, and let's just link that up like that. So what happens now, the signal is inverted. When this area here is off, this redstone is on, and that's it. You've got your first multiple choice question set up. So if any one of these are in the wrong position, you see the light is off, and that's why I put redstone lamps here. It's just easier to see rather than a door opening and closing. And if I do anything with any one of these, you can see at the back, because there's red energy coming out, there's no energy coming to the lamps because of this inverter. Okay, and that's essentially it. That's how you set this up. And then what you do, you simply repeat the process. Now, I've got here the same thing, but with many questions. So you can see here how I've connected them. Up to this point here, if I just break this piece here off, this is just one question. Okay, so if these are in the correct position, that door will open. Let's have a look. So I want B and D. So I want B, well actually it's 2 and 4. So 2 and 4 is on and 3 is off, and you can see the door opens. And that's only that question there. If I want this to be 2 questions, I'm going to link these up like this. I'm going to connect these up, and I'm going to put a repeater facing this direction, not this direction. So I want to be facing the direction I want it. Why? Because it's not going to allow the electricity from here to flow through. So let's put it in the correct direction. I only need one output right down here. I don't need these redstone torches here at the bottom of the inverters. I only want one output signal, and that's this one. So if there's energy coming from any one of these questions here, any one of these are wrong, there's going to be energy coming out and turning that off, and the door doesn't open. So only when all of these are in the correct position will the energy be in the right order, all of them off. So this one, for example, should be only the first one. And let's just turn that one on and that one off. Okay, and you will see all of them are still on, and that's because there's a mistake on this last one. So the last one should only be the number 5. So let's turn that one off. Now, because the last one is correct, you can see this one's off, but I can see there's an error on number 4 as well. Okay, so I want that one to be on. There you go. I've got all of these correct now. Can you see? And the door has opened. And that's essentially how you do this. So you link up your questions with a repeater. The purpose for the repeater is twofold. The first one is to make sure that energy can travel the distance, and the second one so that energy from this side doesn't flow back this way. It only goes one direction towards your output signal. So if I make a mistake in this yellow one here, there you go, that gives energy from this point onward. It doesn't give energy back there, and that door will close. Okay, and that's essentially it. That's how you can make your multiple choice question. So you can make it as long as you like. So this one here is supposed to be 10 questions only. So if I want this to be 10 questions, I just need to break this here, and the output signal down there will be dependent solely on these 10 questions over here. And the wall here is to prevent students going on that way. So it's a fantastic tool. Now you can incorporate both of these ideas together. So the other exercise with the 25 breakout rooms, you can have one of those rooms being multiple choice questions and have a room set up like this. They flip the switches in the correct place. They go through the taught door, step on the pressure plate, takes them to the next room. Okay, if you've enjoyed this and you want to be updated with the new videos I post, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you again in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.